I just want to make a short video here, give you guys a little tip on staying organized. So as you guys know, I run a small engine, kind of small repair shop type thing from my own house. And I'm a big fan of any ideas and tricks to stay organized. I like staying organized. I hate looking for things. I hate losing things. I have multiple machines here at once, and I'm only one guy, so ordering parts and keeping track of things. The less I have to worry about, the better. And I've developed a pretty good system. I would say I'm on the side of being really organized. And I like it that way. Things just run smoother and more efficient. So one big thing is hardware, nuts and bolts, stuff like that. When you tear a bike down or a piece of equipment down, you're always left with piles of nuts and bolts. And a lot of the time I tear things down, I tear down to diagnose things, and then I need to order parts. So you're always waiting for parts. I live up in Canada, in a smaller town, so things aren't readily available as much as they would be for somebody in a bigger city. So a lot of times I'm waiting, a week, 2 weeks, sometimes even longer for parts. So, like putting nuts and bolts in, like these magnetic trays and stuff, that works while you're taking it apart. These guys here, but that's as far as they go. Once you take something apart, you got all the hardware, you back it out of the shop, you pull something else in, you end up taking them out and just kind of setting them on the workbench, and then things get lost and it just doesn't work, okay? And I was a big Ziploc bag guy for a long time. You guys can see, like, so these Ziploc bags, like these freezer ones I reuse, but like, but I'll still use them if I got things that just don't fit. But you can see I've used that for somebody's thing, and then I crossed it out and used it again, type thing. Same with those ones in there. That one says like what the guy's name, and it says Yamaha. It's reading it backwards because we're reading it through the other side. Anyway, so that system kind of works, but then you got a bunch of bags everywhere, and if there's small little parts in there, you could lose them, they fall through, whatever, okay? Sometimes the zippers don't work on them, and then storing the bags itself is another pain in the ass. I used to use cardboard boxes, and I put the bags, stand up in there. It wasn't a good system. Then I'd be digging through the whole thing looking for them, and I didn't have a visual. I couldn't see what was in the bag. I had to unravel it all the time. It just didn't work that well, okay? If you're your own shop and you're just tearing your own equipment apart, different story. That system will work. So I've done multiple different things, but the best thing I've done so far yet that's actually stuck with me and that I really, really, really like how it works and how it keeps me organized is using Plano boxes. Okay, you can get these. They're dirt cheap. Okay, now I don't use. I will use one like so. For instance, this here I'm doing a head gasket on this Yamaha Bruin. I used a whole Plano box for it. Okay, because I needed that, as you guys can see. So what you do is like for certain things. Like say if this was a fender bolts, I put a piece of tape there, right, fender bolts on it, masking tape, and then I keep my masking tape right there, and my marker's right there. Okay, so you know which thing is which. Okay, like head bolts or this, that, whatever. Okay, this just has the name thing. I know where all these bolts go, so I don't have to worry about that. But you can do that. Now, you're not going to waste a whole Plano box on, say, a snowboard that you're doing a carb clean on, okay? it's only going to be torn apart per day. So then, like, so here you see Jeff Craftsman. So that stuff in that tray up there is my customer named Jeff, and it's Craftsman. Okay. This one here, Scott Carter, it's another customer of mine. Polaris 500, Ben. Okay, that's these three stops there. Oh, sorry, actually, that's these whole five of the clutch weights. And then Luke has got a Husky blower here. Okay, there's just a couple bolts, so I put them that way. You know, works great. You know, put that away. That one's full. Okay, and then when I put something together, I just peel that tape up, and then it's empty again, and I redo it. So Phil Sled. So these two, okay, this is Susan. Susan's got a blower here. Powell, he's got a machine here. And then, you know, Blank, and then Acadia. I got an Acadia out there I've been working on. Those two fill it up. Okay, so now I got two little things here. So say if I have a chainsaw come in, and I'm going to clean the carb on it or something. Well, I got enough room here, you know, to put something else. And now, so these work absolutely great, okay? I wait till they're on sale and I'll buy them, and I got tons of them. And they stack nice, clean, neat, whatever, okay? They work freaking amazing, okay? Cheaper than bags, because bags you can only reuse so many times, then you're writing on them, and then it just gets messy, and they rip, or whatever. And then you're buying more and buying more. And those bags, they're expensive, and they don't last as long. These things, as long as you don't drop them right, they'll last quite a while. You know, if anything, you're gonna find that these little tabs will eventually get thin and break off. But they're cheap, okay? They're cheap. Now, for bigger stuff, same thing. I went to the dollar store, and I got this size here for pretty well your day-to-day, every nuts and bolts hardware type thing. And then I got two other sizes, okay? So, and you can find sizes that work for you. Now, if you see back here, I have those two right there. So I got a bunch of them that size. Okay, and then I got a bunch that go to this big size here. And all these other Tupperware containers are also just nuts and bolts and stuff for projects that I've, you know. And they all got tape on it. Everything's got tape on it, okay? See, look here. This is my buddy Helder. He's got a Honda mower. In here, what do we got? Husky, Luke. Andy, tractor and small blower. In that bin, Briggs carbs. The one below it's Tecumseh carbs. You know, so everything stays very organized, and that's how I keep track of my customers' parts and my own parts and whatever. Okay, so that's one good way, and then even down to these little guys here. You know what I mean? This here. It is Dan's John Deere, JD. It's just got a Tecumseh choke knob and a couple carb screws. Very small, nice, easy. Okay, so I'll use that size. Yeah, that works. It works. They work great. Okay, Tupperware containers, they work great. Maybe your wife's gonna clean out her cupboard and you score a bunch. You know, that's how I got a bunch. You can also go to Value Village. You can get them cheap, or the dollar store. The dollar store is great for them. Yeah. And then I just keep like empty ones over here, and when I'm ready, I'll just, when I need one, I'll just grab one and fill it. And I got different sizes and whatnot, but yeah, much better system than the bags. They're stackable. You can see what's in them from, get clear ones, right? So you can see what's in them. It works great. And then my next thing is totes. Obviously, everybody knows what totes are, but those totes are great for big parts. Big parts, I mean like, you know, this kind of shit. You know, belt covers, skid plates, off doors, stuff like that, cables, you know. And when I put stuff in there, you'll see this is what I do here. When anytime I leave something that's not in a bag or a case, I write on it. I go on the inside, right? So rewind off the Honda mower. That's the outside. That's the inside. I write the guy's name on it. Okay, here, same thing. Inside, okay? And you can use gas or anything. It takes it off very clean instantly. Just use a paint marker. And that works good because, say like these belt covers I just showed you here. This is a common belt cover, okay? It's off a Craftsman blower. I'll get anywhere from, you know, upwards of 10 of these in the wintertime in my shop at once, okay? So sometimes one will have like a broken clip on it or a broken hole for the bolt like that, okay? And as soon as it comes off the machine, I flip it over on the inside and I write the customer's name on it, because you don't want to take one that's in real nice shape and put it on and get them mixed matched with somebody else's, you know. It just saves you a headache. You don't want your customer calling you saying, hey, you switched out my better cover for a worse one, blah, 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 blah. You know, you guys know what I'm talking about. So I always write on it. Okay? That's just one way to help stay organized, guys. And like I said, you don't have to work on this stuff. You don't have to have customers to do this kind of thing. You can do it with your own stuff. You know, you tear a 372 down. Well, write 372 on there. Put all your hardware in that one. And you tear down a still 260. And you do the same thing, you know. Plano boxes are great. The reason I made this video is because I had a customer come here the other day, or about a week ago, and he's seen this while I was working on something, and he thought, wow, that's a great idea. So he couldn't believe that he said he's gonna steal this system from me and incorporate it into his own shop, and he just couldn't believe that he never thought of that or whatever. I mean, I didn't think it was that big of a thing, but I guess it is. So anyway, to some people anyway. So yeah, he was pretty excited to go home, and then he was telling me that that he did it. He had a bunch of stuff in cardboard boxes and whatever. So yeah, it's not an expensive shop upgrade or anything like that. It's just a quick, cheap, and easy way to stay organized. Okay, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I got lots on the go here. I got all sorts of things going on. Haven't really had any time to film anything, nor I even have room to do it. So I'm gonna have the head off this thing probably in a few hours. I got a Yamaha blower back there with the head off it right there. I also have the Players Sportsman that's probably gonna get torn down and stripped and sold for parts. I got a Honda mower here I'm gonna fix up for a guy. I got multiple blowers outside still and lawnmowers ready to come in. Got this sled. Yeah, all sorts of shit on the go. But hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope that you guys can develop that system and make it work for yourself. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you ain't subscribed. Leave a comment, let me know what you think of my hardware storage. We'll see you on the next one. Cheers.